And that's what I got. You want to know? You want to know how to do that? Post in the comments if you want to make a video on how to make that happen. We have in the shop a 2005 G35, Infiniti G35, and this vehicle has an issue with the fuel gauge. If you're watching this video, it's probably because you have perhaps the same problem, and most of the times the issue is not with the vehicle, at least not originally, unless someone fabricates that problem. But most of the times the problem is with the instrument cluster. In this video, I'm going to show you how to fix it, how to correct the problem. And for that, I'm making this video. Tools that you're going to use for this video are as follows. We're gonna need some isopropyl alcohol, soldering wire, flux, pencil, some tweezers, and these prying bars that I found on Amazon. You can find them online. All right, so I have removed the front lens from this unit because it takes me some time to do. It's not gonna be that hard for you, but for me it is. So from here on, first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna power up this unit. Using our regulated power supply. This is a connector that I have made because I do this regularly. So you stay, once we're done with this video, I'm going to show you how to make this connector in case you want to test this on the bench. Okay, and turn it on, and that's your unit turned on. Right now the fuel gauge, it's on empty. Sometimes you can make it act up just by bumping it. The other problem with this is that it's intermittent most of the times. Okay, it's intermittent. When it comes down to testing, we're gonna use these trim pot to run the fuel gauge. So this you're gonna connect between pin number 7, I think, and your ground. So let me hook it up right there. And if I'm not mistaken, pin number 7, it's one of these. What is it? Oh, it's this one right here. See, made nothing there, so I will identify it. Okay, and I have this trim pot label. I have a little mark right there. I don't know if it can be seen. Nah, not gonna be able to see it, but it's right there. Okay, so in this position, this fuel gauge should indicate empty. If we bring it up a little bit, I mean, no, if we bring it down to 0, it should the gauge should go up to full. So very close to 0, which will be all the way down here. That fuel gauge should start to climb. There you go. Okay, we have it on full, and right about there, the low fuel warning should come on. Oh, this thing I think was off. Okay, well, good thing it's acting up right now. Alright, so I'm going to show you, hopefully you can see that on the video. When this is in that position, right about there, should be on empty. Okay, so the range is from here down to here. That should be the entire range. So at the end of this video, if we are able to fix this instrument cluster, that should indicate empty at about there. and it's not. It's showing about half tank. So let's start with the calibration. I'm gonna disconnect this thing because I need that fuel gauge to drop down to empty. Okay, because that's where we're gonna mark this first step. You're gonna do with the instrument cluster energized, but no signals being being run into it. So these particular gauge with the instrument cluster energized, you're gonna have to mark the position. I have found that this one, the position is right on top of the pin. How do I know? If we move it on the other side, it goes up to the pin. If we put it on this side, it goes down to the pin. So that means the position is on the pin. For this one, usually what I do, I just make a circle and put a line right in the middle. Okay. So my tachometer RPM, if we put it on this side of the pin, you're safe to do this. Okay, you're not going to damage anything with this thing connected or not connected. You're not going to damage anything. Okay, it's magnets in there. That it's positioning that gauge in there. Now this one, if we put it on the top side of the pin, it goes down to the pin. So that means the position is below this pin. Now if you bring it on the other side, you will see that it doesn't go up to the pin. It doesn't touch the pin. So if we bring it up, it'll come down. So that's your mark right there. We're gonna put a mark in there. Okay, this is how I'm gonna do it. You do it the way you can. You put a piece of tape. You mark it with anything you want to mark it with. You want to take a picture, you can do that. I mean, I'm just telling you how I do it. Now for this one, if I put it on the bottom side of the pin, it goes up. If I put it on top, it goes down. So that means the position is right in the middle. So we can do it like that. For the fuel gauge, with nothing connected on it, if we put it on the top side of the pin, it doesn't go all the way down to the pin. So that means the position, it's that one right there. For that, I'm gonna mark it right here. Okay, and that's it for the marking. We're gonna disconnect this thing. And we're gonna pull those gauges out. You have to do it in a way that you don't damage the plate. For that, we're gonna use this one. We're gonna use this these little bars. All right, that's not gonna do. Move it a little bit more. That, if you can do that, if you can do this in a different way, post it in the comments. All right. Stupid hand. All right, that's that. I'm gonna put those gauges away. So I've been making these videos lately because I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be able to use my hands to do anything. They're messed up. Okay, forgot to mention this guy right here. Oh no, it's right here. All right, you're gonna need it. Stick it in there and take it off like that. Trying to do is just try not to damage that faceplate. Now you're gonna stick something between the black faceplate Okay, and that thing came off. We're gonna put this aside. Now we gotta remove these 4 screws. I know you're gonna do such a much better job than me at this. This one. So we're gonna stick these flat tool. We're gonna put up and down on it. Be gentle there. You don't want to damage anything in there. I'll show you in a minute what's underneath, so you'll know how far in to stick it in. Not like you need to be told, right? All right, there you go. And this one, we're gonna set it aside. Actually, leave it on the housing, because we're gonna put everything away. All right. So we have our board. If you wanted to power it up because you wanted to do some of something else, this is how you would do it. By the way, I have a video. No, I don't have a video. I have an instrument cluster that I want to make a video on, and it's one with the blue lighting on it. I'm gonna do that on another video. If you want me to do any colors specific, post it on the comments. I'm gonna, you know what? Let me show you what that is. Alex, yeah. Can you bring me that cluster for the? I have it somewhere. So this is the original color, and the video that I'm gonna do, if you guys want me to do, it's gonna be on a different color. You have that instrument cluster with the blue lighting? That one? So this video is for the repair. God damn it. Alright, that was harder than expected. Okay, this one I did the other day. And that's what I got. You want to know how to do that? Post in the comments if you want to make a video on how to make that happen. So that's for a different video. Right now, let me just put this away. Okay, and I'm back. I know it took me forever, but being in a wheelchair doesn't make things easy, believe me. So the problem that I have identified on this instrument cluster, the circuit for the fuel gauge, it's composed by all these resistors right here. Pay attention to it. It's this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Okay. So these 5 resistors, they're part of your fuel gauge. Out of your fuel gauge. Yes, that your fuel gauge. Let me see if I can do a close up. I was, just in case you didn't see this, I was resoldering these 2 resistors, and this one was loose, and it's not anymore. Okay. And this other one, it's also going to be for your fuel gauge. I'm doing one side of it first, and then coming back to the other side. Leaving too much soldered on this, it's not a good practice. I mean, because sometimes when you do that, it'll crack from underneath. So these 5 are for the fuel gauge. These resistor, along with this one right here, I'm pretty sure they're just for an LED. Forgot to mention something else. If you have a gauge that goes all the way around, usually the problem is with the coils on the stepper motors. So stepper motors, you're gonna have to resolder those two. And now we're gonna do this side of the board. And remember this, if you have any issues with your shifter, this is probably what the problem is. When I remember I told you at the beginning of the video, I'm gonna show you how to power up this unit, and I'm gonna explain to you what these resistors had to do with your shifter. Okay. I think this is good, Alex. Okay. Yeah, thank you. All right. Let's imagine you didn't see that happen. And let's correct it before it gets out of hand. So, if you lift up a component, you can either lift it up completely, clean both pads, solder one end, put solder on one end, and then put the component, solder that end, and then solder the other end. If you want, you can also solder both sides of it. This is only doable with small components, because you can do both sides of the component. Okay, and then you touch one end and then the other end. Okay, with good flux you can do that you don't get any breaches. and it still lights up. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna put that on the side for a second because I need to get this thing ready. A couple things I need to tell you about this. Number one, this display right here should be loose, and the pins, if you can see them, they're straight. All right, they're not damaged. If they're damaged, make sure you fix them before you attempt to put them back in there. For this guy right here, I highly recommend you take it off. You can attempt to put this back together like that, but this is how I do it, and it'll save you time, headaches. Push those pins out, and it'll fall off. Okay, I'm pushing on those tabs to release it, then let it fall off. Okay, so we're gonna remove everything from this housing except that. First, reassemble. We're gonna assemble it like that. This one on top, from here, you'll be able to push that in. Make sure you align all the pins. That's why I take it off, so I know that I can push it in where it has to go. Push both ends and then push on this side, so it'll fall in place. For the other one, this piece goes in first. Just like so. Now make sure all these tabs are in the right positions, okay? Like that. This one, that one, that one. Make sure it's in place. Now you grab your displays, shorter, the shorter side goes on top. Make sure that it's in place. Push down a little bit on each side and then push more on the top side so you can clear those tops, and then push the bottom. Okay, should look like that. That's the other step. And this is where I struggle the most. Freaking hands. I got some videos on YouTube that I recorded about 10 years ago, and it was a different story. I was in a wheelchair already, but my hands were not as messed up. Alright, again, make sure the tabs are where they have to be. All of them are. Okay. Now from here, you can leave this one on. Push down in place. And just go around these rings, like all of them. All of them. These push up a little bit and then down. Just like so. Next one. Like that. Don't forget these guys. Push them in. And that like that. Okay. Now your gauges. This is important. Okay. The reason why we record the positions is because that's what we're going to use to turn this on again. I mean, to calibrate those gauges. So in order for you to record those positions, you're gonna have to power it up. Again, I'm gonna show you how to power this up in a sec. With the unit powered up, you're gonna push those gauges on the positions that you recorded. This one goes on top of the pin. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna start pushing in when it's on top, and then you're gonna move it up and push down. Just in case you didn't see it, I'll show you in a second what I did. This one doesn't go on top of the pin. This one goes on the side. The mark is right there. Yep. All right. So push down. All right. And this one's shorter, so usually the way I do it, what is this? Something on it. There's nothing in there. Oh, no. What it was. Okay, so what I do, I look for the pin inside the metal shaft, okay, and I touch it with this part of the gauge, the one that is going to go on the shaft. I'm not going to be able to do it in that position. Oh, maybe from here. Okay, I'm touching it, so I lift it up. What I know is going to go. And then I touch the gauge, I mean not the gauge, I touch the pin and I push it down. And I'm not going to be able to do it like this. I need to change the position of this thing. So I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. You do it over there, okay? I'm going to change the position of this thing so I can do it. So I'm going to touch the shaft inside with the part of the gauge that is going to go on the shaft, okay? I'm going to touch it so I will know what it is, and then I'm going to touch this pin with the needle, and then I'm going to push the pin down at the same time that I push the gauge into the shaft, okay? That's what I'm going to be doing. God damn it. this one's better. All right. So if you do it like that, when you raise it up, it'll drop to the pin. And if you push it down, it'll go up to the pin. Fuel gauge is different because it doesn't rest on the pin. It's right above it. So again, just put the needle on there, find the shaft, feel for it, lift it up. All right, as you can see, it's not touching. Sorry if that went out of view of the camera. I'm gonna reposition the camera. So let's test it. If your system, if you turn it on with the fuel gauge circuit interrupted like it is right now, and then you put your resistor, potentiometer, whatever you're using to test this thing, if you put it in place and it doesn't respond, turn the ignition off and then on. This one, if it works, it works. Otherwise, we're going to turn it off, wait a little bit, and then turn it back on. So I hope you remember what we had. The mark, it's right there. I know you cannot see it because I can barely see it. It's right there. Okay, so when this one's pointing in that direction, that gauge should show empty like it is right now. And when we bring this one down all the way here, it should show full. All right, it is responding. And it's going to show like that, past the full mark. Okay, that's right. I mean that's correct. That's the way it should work. If you're doing this for a customer, explain that to them. Sometimes they ask about it. Okay, so bring it back up to the mark, like so, like that. And as you can see, this time it's dropping all the way down to empty, and my low fuel warning is coming on. Okay. So one more thing that I need to show you, it will be how to power this up. Okay, so this is done. I'm just gonna clean up the displays and test it on the vehicle. It should work. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna explain to you what I'm doing with this, so you can do it on your bench or in case you're testing. Okay, number one, if you, as you can see, this unit is turned, it's on, right? Imagine this thing doesn't turn on in your vehicle. What is it that you're going to test for? Okay, you're going to test I'm going to remove that thing, and I'm going to take off my connector. Okay, so this is the connector that I have. This belongs to a G35. I have labeled it because I have many of them, and some of them look the same for Nissans. So this pin right here, with the clip on the pointing up, you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that's the pin that brings the resistance from the sending units. Okay, so this is my power that I have connected to these wires. Let me disconnect my grounds. And my grounds are connected to the black one, okay? So now when you clip pointing down, what do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, which will be the last 3 positions on that row. All right, 1, 2, 3, and one more on the other side will be the third one, from right to left when the clip is pointing down. Okay, I'm pointing up. All of those except this one. What is this thing doing there? Yeah. What am I doing? No, those are not the ones. It's this right here. Got too many in there. So that 1, 2, 3 clip pointing up. 1, 2, 3. The three wires in there. What am I doing here? 3 wires, red, green, and green. Those are your powers. Okay. If you have a unit that doesn't turn on in your vehicle, make sure you check those powers. Ignition on. This thing connected, and make sure you check for power in those. Okay. That's your power. Your grounds. And I say grounds because you gotta check all of them. Clip pointing up, pin number 1, that's a ground, okay? Clip pointing down next to those 3 wires for the power, the 2 black ones, two black ones are your grounds, okay? So power ground, and this is your signal for the sending unit. You're gonna connect your sending units in here, okay? In there, like that. Just like I had this thing. I'm using my tripod as a sending unit, okay? That's how you test it. Like I said, if you want me to do a video on how to change the color for this thing, I'm gonna do it. Suggestions on the comments. What colors? I'm gonna do a couple of them. I know I can do blue, red, green. There's a pink one that I can attempt to do, but the front overlay has a tint to it, so it doesn't come out like that good. Even the white, even if I use like white LEDs, it looks like brighter, but you can still see the tint of the yellow overlay. So that's it for now. I gotta go back to the shop to do some other stuff. Hope you liked the video. Stay tuned, and we'll see you on the next one. Subscribe if you want to see any more of this. Okay? See you in the next one. Thanks.